mumbling and whispering certain words.
Let me ask y'all a question. Have y'all heard about the Asian lady that got hit in the face? What was it? I
Mm-hmm.
think it was yesterday or the day before yesterday. She got hit in the face and they knocked down the Chinese man as well, this Asian man as well.
Yeah, I feel like the person that did it is
Asian people.
Asian.
I'm sorry, what you say,
I
Maylay?
heard they've been attacking the Asian people. They shot
Yeah,
them
but
up, they beat the old lady up. But why?
excuse me, check this out, right? I could be funny. I find humor in everything. I'm not gonna lie. I'm one of them people. If I find humor, even if somebody dead serious, I gotta laugh because that's just what I'm gonna do. That's just me. It could be a character flaw, but that's just how I am. Now, I'm not saying that I laugh at the lady or the man or anybody that got attacked. That's not what I'm saying. But when I analyzed what was going on, I sat back and I looked at everything, right? And and what made me analyze was the lady said something that made me go, hmm. They put the GoFundMe, and I believe if I could have the amount incorrect, it could be either 50,000 or
What?
90,000 for a GoFundMe for quote unquote medical expenses, right?
But
Like I
getting
said, I could be
punched?
wrong. I could be wrong with the amount. What you say, boo?
Hold on. Pause. For getting punched? How much
Yeah,
she
for
getting for
getting
getting
punched.
punched?
Hold on. She got
Hey
punched in the
man,
face and
hey
she was
Quill,
assaulted. She was
Maylay,
assaulted. She gave her
I need
assaulted.
one of y'all to hit
And
me
they
in my
made up.
shit if you get
Yeah.
ninety
Wait a minute.
thousand
Listen.
dollars like
Listen.
real shit.
Listen. She was assaulted. To good people, quote unquote good people, whatever that is.
They
Um,
paid it for a chin.
but oh my God, yo, stupid. They made a GoFundMe for her
Hey, we
to
gonna have
cover
to
her
edit that
medical
part
expenses. To
out.
cover her medical expenses. I don't know if it was $50,000 or $90,000. But the point that I'm getting at is they made $1 million. You hear me? A mil. And this lady said, I'm not going to keep the money for myself. I'm going to put it back into the Asian community to fight racism.
Mm.
My thing with this, and this is just me. I don't want anybody to think that my comments and my views are shared by the panel. Can y'all hear me?
Mm-hmm.
We hear you. Quick
Because
disclaimer.
these are my statements. But the way
Your
I looked at
statements,
it
your
was,
thoughts.
that shit was a hustle. That shit was a straight hustle.
That's what it
When I
sounds
say it
like.
was a straight,
As
when I say it
how
was
I
a
look
straight
at that
hustle,
is,
when I say it was a straight hustle, I mean this, right? You mean to tell me you got punched in your face, and they showed a little old man that got assaulted as well. I wasn't clear on if it was in the same location, or if they were together, or he wound up being, catching the back, catching a hit while the lady was getting attacked. They didn't clarify that. But you mean to tell me that this lady got $1 million and you're giving it back to the community? That's something to your community. You're not giving it to any other organization for any other thing.
mm,
You're giving it to the people in your quote unquote community. We don't even do shit like that. We don't do shit like that.
Mm-mm.
Anything we fucking get, we spending it at the drop of a dime. But back to me saying it was a hustle. I looked at that shit and I was down in that area yesterday, right? And not the area where she was at, but their particular area where they reside at, Chinatown. And I was walking around and I was like, I was doing my little shopping and everything. And I watch people, because people, we all have patterns. We never change our patterns. We all have
mm,
tells. So I watch how they move and how they interact with each other. And one thing I give them, they know what community is about. I can't take that from them. What
right.
happens in their community, for the most part, stays in their community. You know what I mean? They handle their situations the way that their customs and their beliefs are, and they do things a
But let
particular
me
way.
let me
Okay,
ask you
okay.
something. Let me ask you something.
Yes.
Suppose um anybody in the black community would have done the same thing that they did during the coronavirus when they was kicking black people out of hotels and putting them on the street.
Mhm.
Now, suppose
Mhm.
one of us would have did it. Do you think that it would have been the same outcome? Do you think it would have been the same outrage?
Well, it's not. I don't think so because we are the we are melanated people are the burden bearers of the world. We bear the
Mm.
burden of everything in society. We are we are the poster people for everything that is wrong, what they consider to be wrong, what they view as wrong in
Right.
society. You see
Because
what I'm saying?
the media highlights our ills and never props us up for anything good. But you
Exactly.
know why?
So,
You know what it is though? I think because our lineage and the fact that they stripped us of our history. Like if you look at the Irish, the Italians,
mhm.
Asian community, they all came to America by choice and they helped each other out and they banded together because how we came here and how our history went as far as eat your own, you make it on your own. We don't help or none of that. I mean, we used to, but like we didn't come over here to better ourselves. We was told it was all slavery and we don't know our religion, we don't know our history, we don't know our real names, we don't know our ancestors. And so we don't believe in helping out the next man that you don't know. And, if we build our community up, we'll all benefit. We're all out for self because we never, get the chance.
But
You
now
know,
look, and I don't mean to cut your math, but you brought up a good point because you have a lot of people that feel like that. It's just like just to jump off topic, but it's still on topic. Look what Jay Quill is doing.
right.
He's doing something out of because he wants to, because that's
Hmm.
what his spirit is telling him to do, or that's what his heart is telling him to do. Whatever phrase you want to use, but it's coming from him from a sincere place. There are people that
Hmm.
mentally they can't grasp
Right.
why would he want to do this? No, there has to be an ulterior motive.
A
No,
hustle.
it's a scam and it's this
Yep.
and it's that. And it's not. But back to what you were saying, we have a lot of that in our community, but I believe that it comes from not just one another. We're not the fault of that. And I'm not saying that we
Uh-uh.
are. I'm not saying that we are, and I'm not saying that we're not. I think we share that fault. But the chips were put into play because look what they did in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Look what
Yep.
they did to Rosewood. You see what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like, we can go back in history and point out many times throughout history that we have, quote unquote, pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps to be knocked back down. You see what I'm
Just what
saying?
they did to the Black
it's
Panther.
it's like it's like they made
Hmm.
us that incorrigible child that needed to be disciplined when it was unnecessary. All we wanted was to get a piece of the pie, because if you look at history, or should I say the winner telling the story, because the winner is always the one that
Right.
gets to tell the story. You see
Right.
what I'm saying? What they
Hmm.
want us to believe is that we were sold off by, we were basically spoils of war. Let's just put it like that. We were spoilers of war, and we come from tribes that the chiefs sold us, and so on and so all that bullshit that they taught us in school. Which at the end of the day, I don't want to get too deep on this because I'm passionate about it. But I'm gonna just end it like this: we were here already. That's all I'm
Yep.
saying. We were
Yep.
here already. We were
I
here
agree with that.
already.
I
It's
agree with
a
that.
fact. It's a fact. You gotta watch that Tariq Nasheed's Hidden Colors, man. That
We
was
were
good,
here
man.
already, and I'm gonna put y'all on to somebody that I don't know if you've heard of him, but his last name is Calloway. I think his first name is Dean
Uh-huh.
Calloway.
Yeah, I know. Let's watch him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought you
that's
were talking about. I thought you were talking about Cali for a second.
no, no. But as far as the part that we played in, because like I said, it's not just our fault, and that's what I don't like. That we blame because we're so tired of seeing the same result of what we're trying to do, and it's not getting us anywhere. We blame ourselves. It's a shared blame. You see what I'm saying? Because on one hand, we go to the same oppressor or the same system. We got to work with it. We got to live in it. We got to deal with it. It's a part of our daily life to be able to achieve something within the system that has been set up against you from the moment that you landed here. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
you
Like when
still
they talk
have
about like the police department, the first police department was created to catch runaway slaves.
actually
Exactly.
the actually not even that the first police department was created to catch slaves. The slave catchers, their methods were used to create the police department. You see what I'm saying? You see how the wording is different? Their methods were used to create the police department. They incorporated those methods when dealing with black people. You see what I'm saying? They just use different tools, but it's the same mindset. It's the same the same thing has been ingrained in their mind.
The same
we
playbook.
we are we are prey to get caught. We are the prey. They're the hunters.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So
yeah.
that's how they look at us. And people are probably listening. There's people in the bush are probably listening like, oh, they talking that bullshit. But this is what needs to be talked about
Yeah.
because I hear a lot of people on their platform. Oh, they talking all this funky fly shit about the fucking spaceships and the pyramids and all this bullshit. Man, listen, a lot of us are trying to live for right now. You know what I mean? Like
Listen,
we
the
dealing
crazy
with
thing
what's
is, the crazy thing is, I'm one of those people that that's into. I'm not gonna say the space of the pyramid, but I do believe in other beings. So I am one of those people. You
that
know
you
what
believe
I
in what?
Hey,
mean?
but that's why
other
you leave your
people,
boots
other
outside for the
beings.
aliens to get them.
Wait, I didn't hear what he said. You believe in
Exactly.
what? You believe in what?
Other beings. I do believe that.
No,
Like
I'm not
me
saying I
personally,
don't. I'm not saying I don't either because I mean, if you think about
That's
it,
why he leave his boots
why
outside.
would you have an entire universe filled with so many planets and we're the only planet with life on it? Nah. There may be life
like
life on other planets that
like
may not
you
be.
you want to know what gave me that thought process when I
Them
was in
boots,
like I think I was
them boots
six
Huh.
be in
or
the sky.
seven. Shut up, nigga. I think I was in like the sixth or seventh grade, and I had a teacher, and he was teaching us whatever, and he was frustrated as shit, and I was just like, "Yo, what's wrong with you?" Because he gave me his attention, and as we were talking, he was just like, "Man, you really think we were the only ones out there?" Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about? But as I kept going back to his class, he just kept saying some shit that makes sense to me, and that's what got me in that thought process.
Yeah, boy,
We are not alone.
I can smell your boots from right here, boy.
Huh.
He's so crazy. But yeah, as far as but as far
We've
as like
always been the target, man. We've always been the target,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
Like
yeah.
when the CIA needs money to fund an operation that the government doesn't want to pay for, they want to get somebody out of office. They do the same thing. They unleash drugs in the black neighborhood. They
But
did it
I
to the
think
Black
now we're
Panthers.
past that. I think now we're past that because we're self-imploding. We're self-imploding because look at the social experiment right here. Look at this platform.
Yeah,
Look at Instagram. Look at Facebook. You know what I'm saying? When you look at so many people that have been taken down on social media. When I say taken down, you get the alphabet boys involved and giving fucking people charges. People are going down on conspiracy charges and all that
Uh-huh.
ridiculousness. That just shows that we still haven't learned their tactics. We still fall for the okey doke.
You know what
And
it is too? Go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
no, it's okay, it's okay. But it's just Like, how long you gonna continue to do the same thing? And just to piggyback one more thing, we were talking when you mentioned about we were talking about people and their platforms. I think I was the one that mentioned that. You know what bothers me about some of these people is that, and I say some because there's so many that I can't, off the top of my head, I'm not gonna go down the line. But trust and believe, if one comes to my mind, I will say their name because I have no problem with it. But these platforms with these so-called people that are supposed to be conscious, yo, it's a lot of fucking mental masturbation that goes on, and there's no resolve to anything. You know what I mean?
We always it's this we want to. They don't hear us. They don't
Mm-hmm.
listen to us. So folks want to be heard, and that's why you'll see somebody get their stimulus. They go buy a chain. They go buy an outfit because they want to be heard. And instead of using our voice in the right way, we use it in the wrong way, yelling, screaming, acting niggerish. uh, I see it. I seen a white lady. Her son had on some Spider-Man light up shoes. They was $5. And the black girl came in. She had her son, he was about 4, and she had a baby in a stroller. Everybody had on Timberlands, goose down. And when they left the store, the white lady got in her luxury Mercedes and drove off, and the black girl was pushing the stroller. And it's like we don't spend our money in the right way because, if you're broke, why you got to look broke? At least want to look good. And we get caught up in the everyday instead of seeing the big picture. Let me save my money. Let me get my car. Let me go to school. Let me be something and I can have something. And in 2030, I can spend money I made in 2010. But we don't do that because we want to be heard. We want to be recognized. And it's crazy because it's like the music. Okay, you ain't a big star until you cross over and hit the pop chart. You ain't nothing until the white man recognize you and say you're good. Everybody black can say, man, that's all that. That's all that. But until Whitey Man's magazine says it's a good restaurant, niggas won't be satisfied. We ain't satisfied with staying to our own because we have fallen in love with massa.
No, and you know what too, Maylay? I think too what happens is that we've become whiners. When I say we've become whiners, we complain about what we don't have.
Everything.
Now, I
Mhm.
say that to say this. I have, like there's always somebody that you may be impressed by. There may be that one person that you may be impressed by their achievements. When I say their achievements, I'm not talking about that they got a car or they got the jewelry. I'm not talking about shit like that. I'm talking about progressive achievements in life that put them in a certain at a certain height where they're able to pull other people up. So I don't know if you're familiar with Byron Allen. There's a black man named Byron Allen,
No,
right?
Byron Allen, he tried to buy. He wanted to start his own channel.
Well, he did, right? And this is what
Yeah.
I was going to touch on. He got the channel called The Griot, right?
Uh-huh.
And it's all black entertainment. Yo, let me tell you something. I put it on for my mother. My mother has dementia. And I put it on for her. And it's jogged her memory because they show like old movies with your pet Kodo and Isaac Hayes and like that whole black exploitation era. They have new shows. BET ain't got shit on the grill. You heard? Like the grill
Mhm.
is really a good platform. And Byron Allen, if you hear my voice, just know that I'm saying, I'm plugging your channel. But anyway,
Hey,
uh,
no, 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 no. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that.
we ain't doing
Mm-mm.
that.
Hey
But
man, a black
but
man
I'm
told
No.
plugging
me
the channel. But I'm on Jay Quill's channel. You never know. You never
a
know.
black a old black man told me. He said, "See, our problem is this: we spend money that we don't have on things that we don't need, and we buy it
Mm-hmm.
from people that don't like us to impress people we don't know.
But I got a
Walk
better one
Mm-hmm.
for you.
around just doing all the wrong things."
Nah, I I can agree with that, but I don't think that's part of it. I think that we have yet to learn that we got to use this system to get what we want. What do I mean? Back to Baron Allen. This man made his millions suing because of what was done to him. No other person has been able to do that. Right now, he got another lawsuit going up against all of the advertisers that and all of the companies that had stated during the time of George Floyd's death that they were going to do more to bring the Black community into their fold, be it financially, be it jobs, be it helping small business owners, and giving advertisements to Black channels. So you have BET, which we know is not a Black-owned channel, but that's
Yes,
besides the
white
point.
on.
You have his channel and all these other platforms that use our content and our skills and things that we bring on their platform. So all of those companies have yet to follow through with that agreement that they made with him when he launched his channel January 20th of this year. So now there is going to be a lawsuit in place, that man is already a billionaire. His focus is the Black community. You see what I'm saying? And I'm not championing fun because I don't know the motherfucker. You understand what I'm saying? I'm just putting this information out there because everybody processes information differently, and the way you process your information gives you a different perspective. And in having a different perspective, you're opening up your mind to new and different things. So I'm just saying this, that you gotta pimp the system. They set up the system a particular way to benefit them off of the backs of who? The people at the bottom. It doesn't take much to get to the top. Nothing is fucking impossible. The problem is we have too many goddamn distractions. That's the problem. We get easily distracted. We're like kids in a fucking candy store. You see the now-and-laters, but then you see the fucking cherry chans, and you see the Boston baked beans, and you see all that other shit, and you get crazy, and you forgot you just came in there for some goddamn now-and-laters.
And plus, too, like, you got, let's say you got a white dad and a Black dad. The white dad works at IBM. The Black dad works at Walmart. The Black dad tells his son, you got to get your education. You got to go to school. You got to work hard, and you can get to where you need to get and achieve the dreams you want to achieve. But the son sees his dad going to Walmart and making $14 an hour, and they struggle. So the son don't necessarily buy into what dad's telling them. Now the white kid gets the same speech, but he buys into it because he sees the fruits of the labor. In our most critical parts of our life is when we're in our teenage years and we have a chance to get a free education and go on to higher learning and be something. But a lot of kids are dealing with no dad, or the drugs in the community, the gangs in the community, and all the other shit that distracts them. Now throw in the racism, the teachers not wanting to help, the coach don't want to let this kid play
because we're following a
Nameless
program
salute.
that has been set in place for us
to
You see what I'm
fail.
saying? We didn't put that program in
No,
place.
you're right. You're
We
right.
didn't put that program in place. That program was put in place for us to follow that model. And
And
that's why, because this is why I said we've become whiners. Every time a baby whines and cries, parent comes and, what's wrong? Oh, he needs his diaper change. Oh, he needs a bottle. Oh, he wants to be held. You get that attention. You get something. The child learns that he gets something from that. We have become the same way. We have become so dependent. We have become attention whores. We have become insufficient as human beings in different aspects of our lives.
We
This
have
is
to
my personal
realize,
opinion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not bashing my black men or my black women
right?
because let
But
me
we
tell you
got to
something.
realize that not the only way, but the way for us all to get there together is we got to come together. And because you can't blame the white man for helping white people. You can't
you
blame
cannot.
the Chinese man for helping the Chinese people.
But because we don't have a system that backs us up,
but we don't come together, because when we put our money together and we say, all right, me, Quill, Crown Key, and Goo Troop, we're gonna buy our first house together. And the money that we make off the house, we're not gonna split it up. We're going to get another house, and we're going to keep doing this until we get 4 houses, and then we all own a house, and then now we're on our way. I'm going to say, man, Jay Quill hold the money. Goof Troop going to say, man, I ain't letting that nigga hold my money. That motherfucker be fucking all these bitches. And then Crown Key said, oh, man, I think Maylay should hold the money. And we can't even decide on a business plan and stick to it because of our field nigga, house nigga mentality.
Nah, it's not
we
that.
still got that.
It's not that. I'm not gonna accept that as an excuse. I'm not gonna accept that
It's
house
the truth.
nigga. Nah, it's not. You know what it is?
It's
lack of education when it comes to finance. That's what that is. It has nothing to do with the field nigga mentality. Field nigga mentality is the shit that we doing on YouTube. That's field nigga mentality.
Yeah, but when I say that,
when they tell you, oh, you know, I don't want, if I see you on their page, you know, don't come over here.
No, when I say,
that's
hear me out. When I say house nigga, field nigga, this is what I mean. That because in the group, Jay Quill might be the smartest one, or he's more diligent with money, but Goof Troop is going to be jealous, and Goof Troop is going to look at it like, see, he's the house nigga. He's in there with Master, and I'm out here working hard. I'm getting my coins together.
Hey,
he get the whole money. And that's what I'm saying, that we can't come together because of our history of being oppressed, being put down, not trusting each other, and stealing from each other, because we are our own worst enemy.
So let me ask you this, Maylay.
Man that kills a nigga, there's 20 niggas that killed 20 niggas.
But let me ask you this. You know why we feel like that? First, let me say this, and then I'm gonna ask you a question. You know why we feel like that? Because all of our shit is propelled. And like I said before, we are the burden bearers. So now, remember that. We're the burden bearers. What we do is put under the microscope for the world to see. Now, you look in other communities. Look at the Indian community. Look at the Asian community. Look at the European community. Whatever country they come from in Europe, right? You think that those people don't have the same shit going on in their community? You think they don't have the ratchetness? Listen to what I'm saying. You think that these people don't have the ratchetness, the gutter shit, the killing, the drugs, the incest, the mental abuse, the drug abuse, whatever. And just think about everything that goes on in the Black community. You think those people don't have it? You know what the difference is?
I'm gonna tell you what the difference
is. They have a structure. They have a cultural structure of their own. We don't have that. That is the basis. That's like an identity. That is like when you're born and you're given a name. You identify by that name. You hear that name, it's called, you know that they're calling you. Even if it's not you and you hear somebody else call that name, you be like, oh shit, they're calling me, and it's somebody else named Maylay. You understand what I'm saying?
What structure do we have? I'm gonna tell you.
But we don't have one. We don't have
we do.
We do.
No, we do. We do have the structure. We have a
Maylay,
structure, and
Maylay,
our structure is
Maylay.
this. This is our structure.
We have the
We
one that
or
we
have
adopted, that we were forced into. This is not our structure. This is not our structure. Remember what I said earlier?
listen,
We were
listen,
here already. We were
Crown.
here already.
Listen. It might not be healthy, and it might not be liked or acceptable, but we do have a structure.
We ain't got no
We
structure.
have, we do. It's just detrimental. What we have in place and what the dynamic that we have amongst each other communities have that same problem, but the difference is this: they have the access to resources. They have more people doing well. So when you get the like minds together of those that are doing well, they're not like, I made it on my own. Fuck you. I'm not dealing
But
with
look
you.
where they're
I'm not
coming from,
trusting you.
Maylay. Look where they're coming
Right,
from.
right,
Those opportunities are being afforded to them because they're coming from a country that will back them. They have
right.
backing. We're here. And we don't
We
even have the
don't.
backing of our own country.
We
You
don't.
understand what I'm saying? This is why I
And
said
that's
we have
why,
no structure. There's
and
no
that's
structure
why,
in place for our community.
and
There's
that's
none.
why we have to come together. But when somebody comes along and says, look, we got to come together, let's do this, a motherfucker will say, I'm not letting that nigga hold my money.
But you know
Fuck
what? I'm
him.
gonna keep it a stack with you right now. I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. A lot of us are not built to be able to be part of that structure. You understand what I'm saying?
Right, but see,
There are a lot
that's
of us
what I'm
that are
trying to
not built
say
for
though.
that.
Like Goof Troop might be the dude, he have the job, he makes money with his back. He might not be the smartest dude, but he has a job and he makes money. Jay Quill makes investments. He knows how to save money. He knows how to make his money make him money. But me, I don't have that. I just hit a lick in the hood and I got a couple dollars and I don't know nothing business, but I got some cash and I don't want to, I don't trust it.
Then another system has to be in place. The people that have the money and a person like you comes into the fold, those of us, I'm including myself, that are in a financial situation that we are actually growing, we're building towards something, we have to put something in place to bring you into the fold if you follow through with what we put in place. You just can't come in off a GP just because you got the money. You have to go through something. You see what I'm saying? And that's the problem. We don't do that. You have to be vetted. There has to be a vetting process. And we don't do that. You see what I'm saying? When you look at these hedge funds and you look at all of these people at the top with all this money, you think there's not a vetting process?
Yeah, but
There's
they're
a vetting process with that shit. They don't give a fuck if you got billions just like they got billions. Let me see your resume. Your resume is not who you work for, and that's part of it. But who do you associate yourself with? How long have you had these relationships with these people? You see what I'm saying? This is what we don't do with each other. We don't have a vetting process. We just be like, oh no, he's cool. That's my brother. We make decisions on an emotional level. We don't use an intellectual and mental. We don't use the mental and the intellectual capacity that we have to make a decision. We just go off of emotions because you melanated like me and we brothers. Nah, skin folk ain't kinfolk, man. And that's the problem. We want to include our own, even knowing that they're detrimental to our survival. And that's the problem. I love my people, but I gotta be honest. And I'm not saying that everybody is like that. And I know that my words, a lot of people that may hear it, that are in the bushes, and maybe some of y'all on the panel may not agree with me. But yo, it's some of us that just can't be at the table. That's just what
right.
it is.
I
No,
agree.
no, no.
I agree
Trust
with
me,
you on that.
I agree.
Look,
But
I just
I was
feel
just
like
sitting
we
here
can't come
cracking
together,
open
man.
a couple folks.
We can't come together because of our history. There's no trust. Look at the black community in any city in America. The ghetto is always the black community. You might have your trailer park and your poor white folks, but no matter where you go in America, in that city, you're going to find the downtrodden, the poor, the high crime area. It's going to be the black folks. It's going to be us. We don't know. We don't see. We hear people say these things, but it's like, don't do as I. You don't do what I do. Do as I say. But we don't. But we don't listen to that. We could get good advice, but we go off of what we see. I could talk to one of my homeboys and tell him about getting out the game and doing right, and he ain't listening to none of that because all he know is hustling. That's all he knows is hustling, and he's not going to hustle up $50,000 and then trust somebody to start a business with it. Not that that's legal and what to do, but that's how we be thinking in the hood. Like, you could be a singer and I'm a singer, and you give me your demo and I throw it out the window because I'm worried that you're going to be better than me, and so fuck you. And we do that to each other. We really do. Like, why does another, like how, say me and Jay Quill or me and Tazo, we met on YouTube, so we became cool. But if I didn't know Jay Quill and I seen him in the streets, we might be like, what that nigga looking at? The fuck is that nigga? I don't know. Fuck that nigga. That's our mentality. Like, as black men, we get beat up by the world. So we have to be tough. We have false bravado. I'm that nigga. I ain't no bitch. I'm going to do this. I'll kill that motherfucker. Fuck him. Put in work. I do this. I do that. Because we don't have the things that really make us a man.
No, I think it's because a lot of men think that they don't have a choice. I think a lot of men that behave in that manner or take on that behavior, they are led to believe that that's the only course of action that they have. That's the only choice that they can make. But see, this is what I'm saying. It starts upstairs. It starts in the mind. Everything starts in the mind. All your pleasures, or your desires, or your dislikes, everything starts in the mind. Everything, even sex, it starts in the mind. So if you have that type, let's say you are that type of individual, right? And you are that hustler, and you are that nigga that's out there doing, and I know y'all don't like the word, I know you don't like the word J. Quill, excuse me, but I'm just speaking how it is. And I hope that's not disrespectful to you. But you have these brothers out there that they just, they doing what they doing. And they're caught in that conundrum where it's I'm doing this, I'm in the streets, I'm that dude. But you know what? I want to clean it up. And they're caught in that fork in the road.
Yep.
It's a choice.
It's so many.
Well, wait a minute. Right there, in that moment, that's where you make the choice. And it's not an easy choice, because the road to build, to grow from that point to where you want to be is a tough point. It's a tough road. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. And that's what we gotta teach our kids. It's not impossible, man.
It's not just one thing either. You
Yeah,
know what
but
I mean?
whatever it is, you listen. I know people that have been brought up in two parent households. Both parents have flourishing, healthy family lives, meaning the mother comes from a good family, the father comes from a good family. Everything is, and I'm talking about our melanated people. I'm not talking about white people or Indian people. I'm not talking about nobody else. I'm talking about black people that come from a good, strong family unit, siblings and everything. And you got one or two siblings that they get caught up in the street. And that aspect of their life brings on a whole slew of shit that just turns them in another direction. You think that they don't have the tools instilled in them from their background and their upbringing to change that? And even if you don't come from a background like that, you come from a fucked up background, You don't have what's the tools within you to change that. Nothing is impossible. Nothing is impossible. You could change all of that. The choice is yours. And that's my thing
Right.
with us. We pacify ourselves too much, man. Nothing is fuck. We're great people. We are great people, man. We are great people.
We are the most resourceful people on this planet.
And you said a mouthful right there, Maylay. You said a mouthful right there because all of these motherfuckers, you go to Japan, and shout out to Japan because I plan on going there. Japan has taken a whole culture that we brought about, and they revived it over there.
Hip
They
hop.
revived it, and see that's the thing that I'm talking about. What's important to us, other people will take it, or should I say, what we create and we look at as important for the moment. Other people take it, do a spin on it, and they benefit off of it. They
Right.
take our crumbs and they feed their generations with it. Those were our crumbs. We wasn't paying attention to those crumbs. But somebody was behind us in the cut saying, oh shit, they dropped the crumb. Let me grab that. Oh shit, there goes a crumb drop. There go another one. And before you know it, they got a whole
Hey,
fucking meal that we done gave them.
it's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We are oppressed. We are oppressed people, and
Mhm.
we have the racist system working against us. But
But it's always been like that.
even with that being said, we as Black people are our own worst enemy because you could be a good brother, working hard, love your baby mom, and she'll tell you, man, nigga, you going to work every day. You bringing home $500 every 2 weeks. I can't fuck with you. And she be fucking with the neighborhood dope man. So now the nigga feel
But
like
you know what? As a
he's
woman,
not
I'm gonna say this. That nigga should have known she was straight for the stroke. That's all I
right.
gotta
But
say about that.
but what I'm just saying is that that's just one little piece.
Right, right, right.
Then you got your man saying, yo, dog, do this, do that. I put you on. Then you got uh your brother. You know what I mean? It's like so much that we're being cut by 1,000. It's death by 1,000 cuts, man. You got racism. You're trying to get a job. They don't want to hire you. You go to school. You graduate. You got debt. They don't want to pay you what they paying everybody else. It's like so much is going on. Like people will say Barack Obama didn't do nothing for Black people. And I guess if you expected him to cut a check, a stimulus check, then he didn't. But what I say the man did was that he gave an inspiration to say, yes, there will be doors shut in your face. But if you don't give up and you keep plugging away and you make a plan and you stick to it, you can achieve it. And that is like when you tell your kid, you can be anything you want, but he look around and say, well, I can't be anything I want. I can't be president. I can't be this. I can't be that. There is no job that's going on in this world that there ain't a Black person doing it or have done it.
Exactly.
That's why I say we are our own worst enemy because
Yeah.
because look,
Hey,
we killing each other for
I
nothing.
listen. I love this the banter we're having. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. Like for real, from the bottom of my heart, I'm loving it because it's
We need to have it.
yeah, we need to have it, and it gives
have
two different
more of
perspectives. It gives two different perspectives, as there are many other perspectives. Me personally, like you said, that's your story. You sticking to it. I stand on what I stand on. I say that we share the blame in what's going on in our communities, and with us as a people. Excuse me, with us as a people, we share the blame because there's the only system in place that we have to go to is the same system that has worked and put everything at odds against us. You see what I'm saying? So, and it's not going to change. The thing about it is, we could sit here and say, "Oh, well, we're oppressed and so on," but we've been oppressed. We're going to stay oppressed because the system is not going to change. Which goes back to what I was saying. We must learn how to use the system to get what we want. Because nobody's gonna fucking open the door for us and give it to us. We're gonna have to. We're gonna have to once again pull up our bootstraps and handle and take what we want. And I'm not talking about take what we want. Oh, revolution. I'm not talking about that. That's a whole nother subject, and I'm not touching on that. When I say take what we want, we have to use the system that's in place to achieve what we want. And if you're a person that feels you need to go to college, do that.
Carlos, what's good, Carlos?
I went to college, and I'm thankful that I have no college debt. Why? Because University of Phoenix, them motherfuckers, they had a scandal, and we have received paperwork that our debt will be cleared. So I don't owe them. You know what I'm saying? But my point, I'm not just to keep going on. My point is the system is in place. You gotta learn how to pimp the system. They pimping the shit out of us. They've been pimping us. We've got pimps every month. We got rent, we got cell phone bills, we got food, we got electricity. Electricity. We got gas, we got fucking life insurance. You name it, we fucking got it. And every month that shit looks at us and
Hey,
it
Crown.
says, yeah.
If you go on Google and you type in BMT, I think it's called BMT Enterprises or BMT Incorporated.
Mm-hmm.
It's a friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
We did something. I did a favor for some guy, and then come to find out it was his dad or whatever. My boy is his uncle, whatever. Mm-hmm. This guy went to Carnegie Mellon in Pittsburgh. It's an engineering school. And then he went to Harvard Business. Mm-hmm. This is a black man. He's been in Forbes magazine. Mm-hmm. He's one of the few black men that was a CEO of a Fortune 500 company. He lives in Detroit now. So he was CEO of this company. Okay. So what he did was he ended up quitting that job. He bought another company. And then he turned it into what it is now, which they basically make tools. So say you got a business and you want to make this special shovel that you decided is the best shovel in the world and you're selling this shovel. But you need a tool and you need a piece. And so they fabricate tools. That's what he does. Mm-hmm. And, he's so wise. He's so smart. He's down to earth. Like he's worth millions, mega millions. Mm-hmm. So I was talking to him and he was telling me shit and I was feeling bad about shit. And he was like, listen, man, whenever you see a turtle on top of a fence post, you know it didn't get there by itself.
Facts.
So knowing the system that's put in place, when you see black folks that are excelling and succeeding, there ain't not nary one of them that did it by themselves. Mm-hmm. We all need help. And the difference between those that make it and those that don't is the support system. Now, you will have those exceptions to every rule that in spite of everything, they still made it. But that's why they call them success stories and they sit on Oprah's couch and tell them what happened because it don't happen a lot. It's not common. It's not easy. And that's why my thing is that we gotta come together as a people. We have to get the hate out our heart for our own race of people. We gotta quit looking at black folks. Black folks will look at other black people just how white people look at us. Fuck that nigga doing. Fuck he up to. I don't trust that motherfucker.
What's that shit that Donald Trump said? You got to clean the swamp. He wants to clean the swamp. We got a swamp. We got a motherfucking swamp.
Well, I'm about to
Crown King, we're gonna pick this. We gotta pick this back up because this is a very important discussion. We're gonna do this tomorrow.
No
I gotta take
problem.
this Charles to get a haircut in the morning.
We're gonna do this tomorrow because this is what we really need to be getting at.
Yeah.
The nuts and bolts of us hating on our own people, not willing to put a hand in the pile and help clean up the mess. And
Exactly.
not
Yeah.
it's one thing like Hassan Campbell. He always saying something and dissecting and talking and this and that, but the nigga ain't never got a solution. The
Nope.
nigga ain't never offering to put his hand in the pile and help fix things. He'll tell you this motherfucker ain't shit, that motherfucker did that, and this is what
But
I
you know
think.
what?
But he ain't never got a solution.
He's not the only one. There's a lot of them on here like that.
Yeah.
So, men and women. You see what I'm saying? So, like I said, I mean, he's not the most likable person in our community. Everybody has their opinion about him. But Donald Trump said it best. Time to clean the swamp.
Behind every good man is a good woman. And we need the sisters to.
And behind every front porch, there's some smelly boots.
We need the sisters to lift the brothers up, man, and encourage them when they're down instead of kicking a nigga and telling them he ain't shit, fuck you, and all that, man. Babe, you can do it. I believe in you. Sometimes that's all a motherfucker need to hear.
And I'm not going to say she need to hold him down. She need to pull him up. She need to pull him up because that's what happens with a lot of the brothers. A lot of brothers, they really feel like they have no support from them women. And, it causes a real sick dynamic.
As a black man, when you walk out that front door, the world is going to try to kick this brother's ass. And then when you come home, you got your woman kicking your ass.
That's why I say, as a black man, if you have a good woman by your side and you've been with her for a long time, that's your team. Same thing with a black woman. You got a good man by your side, that's your team.
That's why I don't condone cheating. I don't condone womanizing. I don't think it's cool if you can fuck a lot of bitches. Niggas will have a good woman and start to think that I ain't got a good woman. She's a good woman because I'm the shit. And he start running around thinking he got to fuck everything because he can or he do this and that. Yeah. Yeah, that's very true.
With age comes maturity in most cases. And
that's why I like Tazo, because he's wise beyond his years.
That you just mentioned, that way of thinking changes as you get older if you allow yourself to change. You see what I'm saying? It's about making that choice. That's why I say it's about a choice. And in some instances we don't have a choice, but just shit that we have full control over and we choose to just let it slip by the wayside. But I enjoy this conversation. I really do. This is what's up. This is a nice bill. It's a nice bill.
All right, till we meet again, man. Yeah. Peace out, everyone. Salute to the chat. Salute to the bushes. Jay Quill, thanks for hosting, bro.
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming through.
Thank you. Aha.
Good night.
All right.
Appreciate y'all for coming through. Appreciate you, Crown Key. Always,
I appreciate you too.
All right.
All right. Good night.
All right, good night to everybody in the chat. Appreciate y'all coming through. The bushes, 8 people in the bushes. Carlos, Maylay, Crown Key, Hoof Troop, Naeem, Jiggy, Rose Gold, Naughty Reborn, my boy Al, Maddie, Brother I Salute, Denise Bird, Stacy. Appreciate all y'all for coming through. Lala, D Fresh, D Fresh. Appreciate you for stopping through, brother. All right, I'm out of here. All right, salute, take care, one love to all of y'all. Be gone.